Hello and welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. I'm your host, Fletcher, and I got special guest, Thomas Enterino.
Special guest. That's so alpha. That's so alpha. You freak.
Thanks for being on, Tommy.
You loser. That's so alpha.
What did you get up to during the week?
Oh, well, I mean, I had a date last night, so that went.
Well,
that was
thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, that's a thumbs up. It was a thumbs up. So we'll be seeing her again. So, it was a dub, and then I got to see your lovely self on Saturday night.
It was a good night, wasn't it?
Nice and chill. Just catch up with some cruise friends and celebrate the birthday of Andrew Sharple's girlfriend, Erin Christoph.
Oh,
So
I think Aaron is good enough.
yeah, so people, those stalkers, man. The last names.
Ashes. Just a really quick recap of the Ashes. Obviously, we got some people that follow it, but England won by 3 wickets.
Yeah, I missed Dave. I missed the last day's play because I was busy. But England deserved to win. I think being such 3 close games, I think it'd be unjust for Australia to be 3-0 up. So I think the way that the series has gone, I think it's probably the right result. And Australia just didn't bat very well in that third innings. England batted well, Australia didn't bat very well. So
collapsed the whole order.
yes, correct. So
And if it wasn't for the Bison in the first one, pretty much a collapse for the whole game.
Exactly right. So England deserved to win, and it makes the series interesting now. I remember we were reviewing it. I said I almost hope England wins, but makes the series interesting again. So Australia only needs a draw from one of these last two to retain the Ashes, but we want to win it.
Yeah,
you don't want to from 2-0 up. They'll see it. They won't see it as a failure because retaining the Ashes away from home is always a big deal. But for 2-0 up, you're expecting to win one of the last 3.
I think so too. What else really happened? Nothing really happened during the week. Oscar Piastri came fourth.
Wow, yeah.
Came fourth. Qualified third, finished fourth. And I think I haven't watched the recap, but a tyre slip up. They put on the wrong set of tyres. He had to go back into the pits and put a new set on, I think, and lost the position, so finished fourth.
Shit.
So showing some talent.
Yeah,
at a hard race, at a hard track to get right.
It's a car that's you probably would say is underperformed for most this year.
I think some new updates has made it competitive.
Yeah, there you go.
So I got new updates this week, but Lando got them last week, and Lando was more competitive last week.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been watching it with the cricket last few weeks, but
it's also Max's like Flemington Straight.
Yeah, that I know.
Like it's a race for third or fourth, so it's a bit boring in that standard. Anyway. Round 17, review. We're not going to do winners and losers. We're going to go through each game and kind of say the scoreline and maybe give, on the interesting ones, a bit of an insight of what we thought of the games. And the other ones we're just going to say the score and move on from. And then we're going to give a bit of a preview of the round coming up instead of just tips. We're going to talk a bit more. So it's a bit of a chill podcast. So we're just going to give a bit more insight instead of just, I don't know. We got to talk about the Toby Nankervis incident, which starts us off on a Thursday. Oh, hey. Perfect. How many weeks do you reckon it's going to get? You've seen the incident, obviously.
Yeah, have.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie, DeGoey got 3. I think it should be.
It's plus DeGoey. Like, it's more than DeGoey, sorry.
Do you think it to be worse than DeGoey?
I reckon. Like, DeGoey was like, I'm at least jumping for the ball. There's a little bit accident. There is pure, I'm going for your chin, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that was worse than DeGoey's one, yeah.
So I reckon it's 4 plus.
I think 4. I think any more than that be harsh, but I think minimum 4.
But Broad got 4 for that sling tackle. So it's on the level of Broad. I think it's almost 5, to be honest with you. I know it's a bit harsh.
5?
It's pretty pivotal. And, like, it's not a good look for the game. If you're talking about protecting the head, it's near on the worst action you get.
He ran so far past the footy.
The ball's gone.
Yeah. I think DeGoey's one, the ball was still past it, but it wasn't to the same level as Nankervis. Nankervis went way past the footy. So, yeah.
I don't think, and DeGoey kind of, like, braced for himself and took a step forward. That sounded so dumb. He did bump, but he also, like... Nankervis was just straight at it. Like, Nankervis didn't do anything but go for a bump and...
Yeah, I think it's 4. I think 5 would be harsh, but I think it should be 4. I can't... Again, it's the Sicily one's thrown me out because now I compare it all to Sicily thinking, so Nankervis is purposely bumped, and that's going to be the same amount of weeks, or that could be the same amount of weeks as the guy that tackled someone and was unlucky that there was another player in the vicinity that caused it. Like, yeah. The Sicily one's throwing me off because now I'm just comparing all the suspensions to Sicily. But, yeah, he deserves... I think he deserves 4, personally.
Agree. Now that you've brought Sicily, I remember Sicily's 3.
Yeah.
It's an accident what Sicily's done. Well, not an accident. Yeah, it's an accident. He didn't mean to do that.
It's more... I would say it's more incidental.
Yeah, incidental, not accident.
Because he didn't accidentally tackle him, but it was the result was more incidental than Nankervis. Nankervis was purpose.
Nankervis was like, I'm bumping you, and whatever happens to you, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so he should get a fair few more weeks. He shouldn't get one more week than that.
I agree, but the Sicily one's thrown one out because I don't think it deserves... I think it deserves 4, but you're right when you say, like, it should be more than 1 week more than Sicily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
In that game, I've been harping on about a guy for Sydney, Isaac Heaney, to stand up. Missed a lot of goals the week beforehand, along with that whole team.
Multi the peanut needed 1 goal, and he missed 2 shots from like 35 out, and he made the distance. Like, jeepers.
And he hit the out of bounds in the post.
Yeah, far out.
He had 3 goals and 17 disposals. Hang on. 5 kicks and 12 handballs.
Wow. See, I think if a player like Heaney should be able to round. He should be a high kick kind of player.
So out of his 5 kicks, he kicked 3 goals. That's bloody good.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
should not be having 5 kicks for the game.
He played a lot around the middle, 6 tackles. But like, do you think I don't think they need to play him around the middle, considering the forward woes that they have, the amount of midfielders they have.
No Warner, but I guess the rise of Sheldrick, Rowbottom's had a really good year. They probably don't need him there. Parker's been unreal. But it also gets him involved if he's fading out of games, rotting in that forward line. It gets him involved, and you want to play. You want your best players to have the ball in their hands, and I guess playing around the footy does that. But it's just weird. They've thrown him around. Like, remember the job he did on Cripps a couple months ago, and that looked revolutionary. Then he went back to the forward line again. Like, they just feel like they're mixing him around too much. But
he also fades in and out too much.
He does, yeah. But I think all that comes down to the role. So his role is weird. But I think he should be kicking more for a player of his skill.
Best player in the ground for Sydney, in my opinion, was Errol Gordon. He had 31 and a goal, really influential. He's putting up a really strong case, along with a lot of other wingers, to be All-Australian wingers, in my opinion, this year. His back half of the year's up there with anyone, kicking goals and touches.
I think he's overtaken Josh Dacos for an All-Australian spot right now.
Off the top of my head, there was someone else that's popped up for the last couple of weeks. I can't remember their name.
Because right now, Martin's number 1, and I think I had Dacos when we did the All-Australian thing. I think Gordon's past Dacos for now.
I probably agree with you there. There was one other person, I can't remember their name now, that is playing a fantastic role in the wing, but I just can't remember. Another person that changed this game from the Swans were up early, or Swans were up at halftime by a fair margin, I think it was about 20 points. Shea Bolton, fantastic. 2 behinds, which is a bit of a shame, but 31 touches. And when he touches the ball, it's so explosive and agile. As not even a Richmond fan, but as just a fan of the AFL, he gets you off your seat and right at the edge, because it is just quick, explosive, and you really don't know what's going to happen, good or bad. You really don't know what's going to happen, but him getting 30 touches changes the dynamic of this team.
Him and Dusty is scary. Dusty played a lot more mid-time. This week. Him and Dusty are scary. And on Richmond, do you think they can make a finals push?
Can they make a finals push? How many points?
David King.
Yes,
David King said he had them in the 8 in round 23, but dropping out of the 8 in 24.
They can make a finals push. This was a good win. Down by a fair bit in the last quarter, come back and win. But then you go to last week, they lose by 81 points or whatever it was. So I know who was it? It was who they lose to? Brisbane, was it the week before?
This is annoying me now. Just gonna do my head in.
They lost to someone the week before.
Brisbane it wasn't Brisbane.
I forget who they lost to, but that loss was a really bad loss.
It was Brisbane, but 80 points, yeah.
It was a really bad loss, and I kind of go, I don't know where they're at. They beat St Kilda, didn't they? So it's kind of like, that's a good win, but they only are. They're only 4 points away from being 8, even though they're sitting down in 12th. So it's like they're not that far away, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. They just got to get a 1 game kind of swing. They play the Dogs, I'm pretty sure, in the last. So there's a 1 game swing type there.
Yep.
If you get a win, they don't get a win. That's a 1 game swing. So yes, they can make it. Do I trust them to make it? That's another question. No, I don't. After the 80.1,
I think they need Lynch. Like, they've done well at this point, but I think once Lynch got ruled out for the year, I kind of gave up on them. I thought they're playing some really good footy, but I think you need Lynch, in my opinion.
Totally agree. But on this list, so you're ruling him out right now?
Well, I think that the AFL, I think Richmond almost ruled him out, to be honest.
No, as in you're ruling out Richmond, yeah. Because he's not here there.
Yeah, I am ruling out Richmond. Yeah, like Adelaide, I think Adelaide are a better side, and they're in ninth. So yeah, I think.
Well, that's interesting because we'll have a few chats about them later.
Yes, but I think, I believe that Richmond will not make the 8.
But next year you're looking at the 8 for them?
I mean, yeah, the way that it's always hard to tell, but trajectory-wise, they should be aiming for it, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Consider they loaded up, they should be aiming for it at least.
Yes.
They loaded up on Tim Taranto and Jacob Hobber.
Correct.
Friday night, my boys against your boys. Good game of footy. It was a really good game of footy.
It was.
Dogs hot early.
Mm-hmm.
Pies came back those middle quarters were definitely dominated by the Pies. And then dominated early in the fourth, but then the Dogs came back and...
Yeah, wow. Made it scared us off. Well, gave us a very good scare, sorry.
Yeah, made you win it. We did make you win it. So,
did.
From a Dogs point of view, as a Dog supporter, was quite happy and pleased. I know it's at Marvel, so you probably give us a little bit of a head start with that. If it's at MCG, you guys are a lot better.
Yeah.
But considering we were within 12 points of the best side in the comp, I'll say that, best side in the comp, pretty happy, but it probably gives us a good indication of where we're at, which is a 10%, the biggest 10% off. That makes sense. Like it's that final 10% is the hardest 10% to get to, and that's really where we're off, and that's that middle pack, in my opinion.
I mean, you said it. I think on Friday night you sent me a text. Yeah, the difference was that Collingwood were clean and Dogs weren't. I think Dogs just missed a lot of easy kicks. That I think if they make those, the game's a lot different. So, Pies were good in the third quarter, which has been our worst quarter for the year by a country mile. We literally play 3 quarters of footy. Our third quarter we stink, and then we fire up in the last quarter. So it's interesting. Our third quarter is our best quarter. But yeah, the Dogs are very good. So I think they're proving me wrong. I made a call a few weeks ago when Jones was out that they're going to crumble with no Jones, and that was proven very wrong. So Dogs will obviously make. They're in 7th now.
I think so.
They will make the 8. And I think they'll finish 5th. To be honest.
Pies are very good. Showed their class. Isaac Quain across halfback. I know Nate Goss got in the middle, and we got to talk about Nate Goss a little bit later, but. Isaac Quain is just growing legs, isn't he? Every game.
He's underrated. Like he's this year, he's really taken that leap. He's off being a solid contributor to a very, very good contributor.
Because I felt like we got Darcy Moore held his own. He was very good, but we got who's Nathan Murphy? We got him, or like Jamara played very well anymore. Norton played very well, but Isaac Quain was a brick wall.
Yep.
Any quick kick out of that stoppage. And he was in the right position every single time and bullied Cody Waitman. For
a guy of his height to have 8 inset marks or whatever it was, like he's little. I think you're taller than him.
I do not know.
I think he's like 180 something.
He'd be about 180.
Yeah.
But
obviously he's a unit.
He's a unit.
But for a small to get that many inset marks.
He bullied Cody Waitman most of that night, apart from Cody kicking 3 goals.
He kicked a couple. He kicked 4 in the end, but it felt like he got 2 very early.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was. You say 4 and think that he beat Quainer. I wouldn't say he beat Quainer.
No, he had some nice goals, but
because Quainer did a lot for the team. Like
the whole
he had 8 inset marks. Like you can't say he had 4 goals kicked on him. He probably saved 5 goals from his marks.
At least, yeah, definitely.
So
the Dogs had 51 entries to 45. So in my opinion, that's pretty good for the Dogs' point of view. I don't know. It's pretty even. The Pies are just so clean. It scares me how good they are.
The third quarter was scary, man.
The way you move the ball, I don't think any side in the competition is stopping that. Like, you can't really do much about it, can you?
Yeah, teams, as we talked about, that teams have been able to nullify Collingwood at stages, but they can't do it for a whole game. That's been the thing. That Dogs did it for a half. Adelaide did it for a half.
Yeah.
Melbourne's been the only side that did it the whole game, and everyone's had an off that game, but it's probably Collingwood's off game. So their sides have proven that you can get Collingwood, but can you get them for enough of the game to have a sizable lead with the last quarter? And sides have not been able to do that. So Pies are rolling on. We got Freo at the G this week, so you'd like to think that's a win, but
yeah, you'd never know.
With Freo, you never know.
You never know. I think that's a win for you. Jew game. Brisbane versus West Coast.
Why are we even talking about this one?
16 goals, 20 for Brisbane. Kick some
was like 51-0 at one point.
Hawthorn, GWS, yeah, nah. GWS is interesting. They beat Melbourne by 2 points and then just beat Hawthorn by 13. Like,
yeah.
what the hell?
They're finding ways to win. Even that D's one, they got absolutely murdered.
Yeah.
So they're scrapping their way to wins, and good sides do that. So,
but are they a good side?
Are they a good side? No,
No.
but I guess the sign of a good side that they're finding ways to win despite not being a great side. But Hawthorn hung around, but yeah, you'd like to think that margin should generally be a 5-goal game based on the way the two sides are at. But
they really interest me. Like, I thought coming to the season that they were going to be almost a rebuild club, although I thought they were going to be a rebuild club. And they've when you look at their list of players, you go, they're not a rebuild club. Like Cogs, Whitfield,
Kelly,
Sam Taylor, Harry Himmelberg. Like, the list goes on. Toby Green. They've got a lot of high-end talent. Obviously, their paycheck means they can't get any more in, but it's like they're going to be stuck in this in-between phase of like trying to draft. Like, they're trying to move up the draft order to get number one draft pick, but yet they're also just got this older talent that has only got. They've still got 5 years of good play, but it's going to take 5 years for a young guy to develop. Like, Aaron Cam's going to take 5 years to develop.
I do think, though, they're kind of their unsung heroes. Like, their defence is, like, I know Sam Taylor's obviously an All-Australian, but...
Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley Brown, I think it is. Like, they've just got a few that are, like, unsung heroes that are really performing well, and I think that's all it takes. Their top-end talent competes with the final sides, but that's that bottom-end talent kind of coming up, but they're a threat for finals. I mean, you have to definitely at least consider them a threat.
Yeah, yeah. They're a bit of a Richmond situation.
Yeah.
They win enough 50-50s, like a game against someone in the 8, then they have that 1 game swing both ways, or 2 game swing.
Yep.
St Kilda, Melbourne. Melbourne win this 21 points, but it wasn't convincing.
No.
It wasn't cute by any stretch of the margin.
No.
It was boring and basic football.
Yep.
Both teams are very defensive-minded and really don't have a forward line to score. I think the first point will start with Max King. Big injury, out for the rest of the season. Yeah. Same shoulder.
Is it?
That he did in the preseason. So his season's already done, and it's kind of worrying for the future, isn't it? Surely.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's a number of injuries already for the young kid. But for me, yeah, well... I'm trying to think. They went right without him start of the year.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that translates again. I don't know. I just...
A talent like that you've got to be better with.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just that those early wins without King were based off pure like shock that, St Kilda are good here. This was momentum, but now they're kind of stop-start. I can't see them having the same sort of impact they did without him beforehand. But for me, the story's Melbourne only... 21 points, but St Kilda had 3 injuries early. They should win that by 7-8 goals.
For a team that we thought was so fit coming into the season, like doing extra sessions after playing a practice match in the preseason, and all of a sudden they're not just overrunning a team earlier than a team that has 3 injuries almost in the first quarter. It's a bit suspect, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you wanted to mention him, but the fact that their best midfielder had to kick 4 of their 12 goals to win. Like I could have brought him in this week, Supercoach, but I didn't because I was scared he'd play forward. But
how's he going to maintain this?
It's more so that they're going to lose in the midfield. Like you're playing a St Kilda midfield where Steele's underperformed all year. They'll steal this game for the year. I'm trying to think how many. Crouch had 26 or something. So like they didn't play a great midfield.
No.
So you could do it this week. You're telling me a midfield that Petrarca is competing with Collingwood, Port Adelaide. They're not.
They had 30 odd less disposals, Melbourne, than St Kilda in a midfield that's...
What was the clearances?
The clearances... centre bounce +2 to St Kilda, okay, but stoppages around the ground was +2 to Melbourne.
Okay.
So it's even, dead even.
Pretty even. But yeah, you're playing... That's not going to be the best midfield they come up against. So I'm a bit worried that if Petrarca continues to play forward, what that does to their midfield. Because Viney can only do so much. And they're relying on younger kids from there. So, Melbourne are still a concern. I think that good win. They got the win they needed to win, but another game they didn't kick 80 points.
only just 79.
Yeah, the other weeks they've been way off, and he's gone 50s.
True, yeah.
But yes, another week they didn't get to 80. But, yeah, the defence continues to hold me good stead, I guess.
All right, we'll stick with that. Another week they didn't get 80. 79, but not 80. Port, Gold Coast respond after a week where the rumours came out that they're, not rumours, but like media start circling about Stuart Drew's job and everything, and then they decide to respond for half a game. I know Port are very good. It was at Adelaide Oval, so it's a beast. It's like versus Brisbane at the Gabba. Mm-hmm. But circle for half a game, get around it, and then get absolute scintillating footy by Port Adelaide. But just the way they got overran in that third quarter was disappointing, in my opinion. And you can't now sit here and put a leg on that first half because it just means nothing. You can't stand on that first half because it really means nothing, in my opinion. 9 goals in that third quarter. It's
concerning. It's still they only lost by 5 goals to a top 2 side. So they get on that alone. You're like, okay, but you're right. It's from what they were, a bit of a disappointing collapse. Port Adelaide just ground their way to win, and they've done that for most of the year. Most of their games have been close ones. They've been literally doing a Collingwood of last year. So to win, they ticked it off to get 5-goal win despite not playing great footy. Accurate goal kicking, 16-10. So
they would have been really nice that like a Wine stepped up this game. Not that he hasn't stepped up all season, but kind of been playing a role behind Butters and Connor Rosie. He steps up, gets 26 touches. Dan Houston was huge. Like they had more contributors than just a Rosie and Zach Butters, which has been kind of their one wood for the last 3 months.
Because Butters was very quiet. So
he was, yeah. He was very quiet in the first half too. So
he had a good second half, Supercoach wise. He had 70-something second half. But play prick, I bring him in, he stinks it up for me. But yeah.
All right, Geelong just smashed them at the Cattery. Got a 6-goal head start.
The only one I think we need to talk about, I think, it's Alphabet Stadium, doesn't matter. Siebel being the sub is a big one.
Weird, but I didn't watch the start of it. What happened? They had then an injury before the game.
Yeah, and then he still didn't come in. Yeah.
He still didn't come in.
Yeah, you're right.
But then they made the sub very early.
Yeah, Logan got injured the first quarter, so he basically played the whole game anyway. Did he? I didn't know that.
Confirmed, yeah.
But yeah, that's for him to not be the sub despite laid out. I don't know who the laid out was, so it could be a forward and he's a defender. I don't know, but
him not to be in the side, it must be managed. He must be sore.
You reckon?
You're not playing him if he's 100%.
Who knows? He's dropped off. Who knows?
Mate, Aiden Core played.
Yeah, but they're different players. But yeah, no, I agree. That I reckon I got a feeling it's not, man. I only got dropped.
Wow.
I only got dropped.
No way.
I only got dropped. Yeah. That's my gut feeling, but we'll see this week if he walks back in or not. But yeah.
Jesus. Grime Myers was the most disposal getter on the ground.
Was he?
32 touches.
Wow.
I wonder how many of them were goal assists because, as Riley says, it's the best goal kicker. He's the best kick inside 50. Yep. LDU was back to his best, 2 goals, 28. So,
wow, welcome back.
If you held him,
if you held him through 3-month injury,
good on ya. Game of the round, Essendon versus Adelaide.
I think so.
You're going to say this is game of the round,
Absolutely, it is. Collingwood Bulldogs are pretty close, though.
Yeah, I would say Collingwood Bulldogs.
But this would be top 2 easily. I mean,
if you're an Essendon fan, this is game of the round.
Especially that 80 points in a quarter and a half football.
Scintillating footy.
Like, what the hell? It's almost a blight on them that they only managed 35 for 2.5 quarters.
So we'll start with the positive in Essendon. What do you think? Where do you think they're at? What does this game tell you?
I mean, Essendon are good, and they're getting better. I think they make the finals from here, and should they make finals? I'm careful not to say everyone makes finals because I did that in the NBA. So I'm not going to say that they will make finals, but they're looking very good. And yes, as you said, scintillating footy. Like to have 80 points in a quarter and a half is unheard of. Like Adelaide had 44 points in a quarter and a half, and was still down by 6 goals. Like it just makes no sense. But Peter Wright looked really good. I don't know how Gold Coast let go of him. And Zach Merritt is
all Australian.
His first half of the year was quiet. That's the problem. His first half of the year was quiet.
He's doing it the right time of the year, though.
Yeah, he is. You're right. But his first half of the year was quiet, so I can understand if he's not in it to date. But Yeah, he was also very, very scary.
Is Andrew McGrath playing as more of a midfielder? I'd love to know that. Like, I haven't really been paying close attention, but behind in 31 touches, I'd say it's more midfielder sort of numbers, considering the ball was going one way for at least one half. But is putting up a good back half this year. I know he started off quiet as a number one draft pick. I think there was a little bit of a surrounding message that he wasn't quite the best of his draft. I guess if you're number one draft pick, you meant to be the best player of his draft. But he's putting up a nice, quiet month, along with his teammates that are helping when you're not getting the ball bombed in long. So I was really happy with that. But the negative, Adelaide's midfield just getting blown apart. I think they've shown that they're a midfielder minimum away. I know Laird and Dawson are really good, but apart from that, they've got a lot of part-timers in Rankin and Richelli, part-timers. They're more of a centre-forward type position. And then Ben Keys have pretty much made him a part-timer. And then really apart from that, you got in their top disposal getters this week, Hinge, half-backer, winger, and then Brodie Smith, who I'd say is a wing half-back.
He is, yeah.
They need two more midfielders, one more dominant one. And then
I think they need one more. I think Sam Berry was a nice one. I think he's injured. Maybe he's not injured, but he was really good last year, just that defensive midfielder. We've seen when that's done to Brisbane Lions. I think Berry was top 3 in tackles last year, if not number 1 actually. But I think they're one short. You look at all the good sides; they've got 3 A-grade mids. So Collingwood, you'd have DeGoey, Dacos, Pendles. You probably have more than that, but they're top 3. Port Adelaide have Rosie, Butters,
Wines or both.
Wines or Horn France probably not, but you put Wines in that.
Probably Wines.
Brisbane have Dunkley, Neal, and
Hugh McCluggage.
McCluggage, yeah.
Berry.
McCluggage, yep. Melbourne have
Petrarca
or Viney.
Yep.
Viney. So these big name sides have 3 A graders, and Adelaide just have 2. They need one more for me. One gun.
Would you go trade one or Frienchi one, or would you go make Richelli or Isaac Rankin more of a midfielder?
I can't see them having the money to get in a defender and a midfielder. I'd rather get a defender. And
yeah,
but
I agree.
I think
so. I'd go more Richelli into the middle.
I'd have Richelli too.
Rankin's so dangerous at goals.
Yes, but yeah, Adelaide. An undisappointing away game.
Yeah.
I thought they might turn the corner a bit with that Collingwood one, and then this is a bad one. They only lose by 18 points, whatever it was in the end, or was it a bit more than that?
It was 18, yep. But it was kind of flattering.
Yeah, I think...
giving up 80 points in the first half.
The game was over 3/4 time. It was 40 points 3/4 time.
They did make a lot of... In the second half, they made a lot of silly mistakes, like literally kicking it to Essendon. They're probably 100 metres out or 90 metres out, and they literally kicked it to an Essendon player in the 50. I was like, for a side that seems so skillful, or has shown that they're so skillful, you're literally kicking it straight to the opposition, who is playing in front of your player. It's like, what the hell? So, not saying they could have won it, but bit disappointed at Essendon, as you said, to only score 30 points in the next half. I know maybe Adelaide changed some stuff.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to get, I don't know, 80 points at half
I
time.
thought they could have put on 150. But, yeah.
That's a big 2 hours.
Great win. I mean, they were 80 halfway through the second quarter, Fletch.
I know, but that's another 70 in the second half. Oh, 80 halfway through the second quarter.
So that's 70 in 2.5 quarters. So, great win regardless.
Yeah, definitely.
Adelaide, they're a side that you'd probably say are competing. I mean, yeah, they're one game away from each other. So it's an 8-point game. So, fair play to the Dons, and they're making a nice little push for finals.
They are making a push for finals, which is kind of scary, considering you just don't know what you're going to get from them. Same with Adelaide, you just don't know what team's going to turn up. And then the big game of the round are Carlton back.
They're good again.
Are they good? Because
the opposition haven't been great, but this was a step up this week. I know
Freo and Freo too.
I know Freo have been very up and down, but anytime you play Freo and Freo, it's a good win.
And they dominated Freo and Freo. This I would say the scoreline kind of flatters what I saw.
If Carlton kick straight, it's a massive result. Yeah.
Jack Martin, I want to talk about him. Has seemed like he bridged the gap between the talls and the smalls in Harry Mackay, like the talls of Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow, and then the smalls of whatever mixture they're going with. They seem to rotate about 3 smalls, but just kind of bridge the gap. Like you can't intercept off him because he's still good overhead, and he crumbs really well. So kind of force no interceptors or third man up against those two, which makes it really hard to defend them too. So he seems like I didn't think he was going to be a linchpin to their forward line, but seems like he is a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Jack Silvani's been really good since he got dropped.
He has been good. He's been dropped a few times. It's a strange one, but
Surely can't let him walk though.
No.
He's contract year this year.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Dakoning could walk.
I wouldn't
this year.
spend big money on Silvani, but I think he's a nice role player. But I think he's been big on Silvani.
But considering you've dropped him a couple of times,
yeah, see,
he might go for a regular game somewhere else,
Yeah, that's true.
like a North Melbourne.
But you're not paying overs to keep him. In my opinion, I feel like you might pay overs.
But would you let someone else pay overs to get him?
Yeah, if someone else, I don't think he's worth overs for. I don't think he's a big enough role player to pay overs, and especially Carlton with the contract situation they've got, they can't afford to pay overs for him. They can't.
But how
it.
quickly does someone that's a role player look like they're getting paid unders when you start winning?
True.
Like
the money situation's so bad they can't afford to overpay to keep him. They can't. How else can get Dakoning?
Yep. Sam Walsh back to his brilliant best, and Paddy Cripps also back to his best. I know Paddy Cripps a lot of handball, but that's what his inside works for. Chera is putting the cherry on top of their list.
Oh my! He's been all weekend. He had that lined up like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that big of a pickup last year, but I eat my words straight away. He is just really good. I don't know what else to say. Like classy, like different to what their midfield. Their midfield's very brute and like hard running and stuff like that. He's very silky and a bit more of that Nick Dacos. 100%, he'll kick it at 100% efficiency because he's just so precise and finds targets. Doesn't waste the ball.
No, he is very silky and pardon me. You're right, in the midfield that haven't been great kicks. To have Chera in there, they almost need two of him. They almost need a halfback as well. I think they're lacking in halfbacks. We haven't seen Sard have the same sort of bounce. I'm not saying this today. I think he's a lot better in this game, but
since Doherty come back, he hasn't really had the same bounce.
Correct. So I just think that he's the silk that Carlton side need. They're probably still one really good ball in a short ball user short midfield, but he's gone new level this year. And he's also in contention. I don't think he makes the side, but I think he walks into the 40 though. He walks into the 40, Fletch.
He walks into the 40 if he's a mid or is he defender or forward?
He hasn't played enough defender forward. So
I know, but like as a mid, it's just so strong there. Like you only have so many midfielders.
Yeah, I think. But you're saying that 40. You're saying at least 15 at a mid.
Probably. Yeah, he's in the top 15.
I think he's in the top 15 mid this year. Yeah. So I think he gets in. You've got 15 mids. You probably got 3 or 4 wingers. You're probably more than 15 mids to be honest, Fletch.
Yeah, no.
It's at least
you can't
15.
go 20.
It's at least 15, and he's in the 15, in my opinion.
And then Fremantle?
Yeah, very disappointing. I picked them to... I don't think they'd be this bad. I mean, I don't want to take too much credit, because I didn't think they were 14s. I thought they'd be finished like 9th. But, another failure, like, at home.
They are the definition of too few.
Yep.
Like, it's Brayshaw Sarong in the middle, Sean Darcy as a ruckman, and then Luke Jackson, please help out. And then Ryan, Cox, Hayden Young, half-backs. Or it's a half-back line.
Yeah, that's not good enough. And, they're not playing finals, and that has to be a failure for them.
100%. They'll tell you that they listed... When I was watching the game, I listened to the commentary, and they said the 17th youngest side this week, but they made the finals last year. Like, there's got to be a point where you stop... and start producing. Like, you stop looking at potential and start producing. They produced last year.
That's why it's a failure. They won a final last year.
So, yeah, it's hard. Not scary, but, like, it's not great. It's really not good.
The game style needs tweak. It's a game style issue.
Purely game style, you reckon?
Largely, yeah. I think so.
I reckon it's list.
The list? I think they're a good list, man.
I think they have potential on their list, but they need it to start producing. They've got a list of 9 players that I'd say is good, solid, very good at AFL players, not solid, very good AFL players. And then there's a few that have got talent and they're producing that talent, and then there's a lot that's not.
Luke Jackson's ultimately probably a waste of that much money in the role he's playing.
Unless Sean Darcy lose.
Yes, correct. So that's almost one that like they're expecting Darcy to leave also at some point, and then all of a sudden that contract becomes worthwhile. But right now, in the role he's playing, you're not similar to Grundy. You're not paying a ruck that much money to be a backup ruck forward guy.
Yep, I agree. Best performance by a player this round?
Ooh. Gee, that's a hard one. Did you have on top of your head while I'm thinking about it? Because
Nick Dacos.
Oh yeah, Dakes. I feel like it's easy though.
Apart from that, best player, up and coming player, in the last 2 years of drafts.
Gee,
that you were really happy with. Will Ashcroft, he played a fantastic game.
I love Jai Miss. I love him.
He's been good.
It's probably the wrong way to say it, but he's been very good. I don't know. I fell in love with him. Gather round. I was at work watching Freo vs Gold Coast at 5:00, and I fell in love with him. Don't think he did that much that day, but I was like, I really like this kid. So I'm gonna say Jai Miss, but yeah, bit
Love
rogue.
it.
Bit rogue.
I'm not going to get controversial questions up, but to be honest with you,
Not a lot happened this week, to be honest. Biggest one was Nan Curvis, which we already talked about.
6 weeks. Come on.
Not 6 weeks. Get in the bin 6 weeks. I hate Richmond not that much.
This week, in my opinion, this is what we're going to do a preview, is because the ladder is going to shift a lot. What we're looking at the ladder this week is going to be totally different. Starts with Thursday night. My boys against the Swans. Up at the SCG. We'll start off with the tip, and then your little preview, what you reckon. Some games we'll just give a tip, and other games move on. But, yeah, what are you thinking? 7:20, Thursday night. Who are you tipping?
All night games should be 7:20. Don't at me. I've said it before in this podcast. I'll say it again.
Maybe 7.
7's too early. No, shut up, Fletch.
But then people that go to work the next morning.
7,
10:30.
but 7 they might be home from work by then. 7:20. I think that's perfect timing. But for me, Bulldogs. I just think that Swans, when they've lost, it's when they've been bullied in the midfield, and I think Dogs will bully them in the midfield.
Well, the unders. They're the underdogs right now.
I guess it's in Sydney, but I don't know. I'm not afraid of teams that play Sydney in Sydney, so I'm going to go the Bulldogs.
I'm also going to go Bulldogs. Last year, I think they played them around the same time in Sydney and got belted by them. Do you remember that game last year?
Yes. Yeah.
I think Bevo doesn't normally do that, but I think they might be pinning that game up against the wall and saying, "Hey, look what happened last time," and so that might fire them up and give them that the first quarter burst, and Sydney don't really have the firepower to come back from when they're down, if that makes sense. So I'm going to Dogs. I want to see Jamara against Buddy. Bit of a passing of the torch. Buddy Jamara gets kicking right and kicks 5 goals. He was very good on the weekend.
He was scary on the weekend.
And he's showing some real promise. Him and Norton, I'm going to say it right now, are good enough to hold down that forward line. Lob out.
Yeah, you said that for weeks.
And again, Sam Darcy, I think he had 4 goals and 20 touches in the VFL. He pushed, and Buku had 1 goal 5.
1 goal 5?
Yeah, 1 goal 5 behinds. If them two aren't pushing their name for selections,
yeah,
I don't know how Roy Lobb gets a game. So I want to see a passing torch here as a Dogs fan.
I like it.
Friday night, big game here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game of the round, in my opinion.
Yep.
This is whether I'm going to tip Brisbane.
Yeah, I'll tip Brisbane too.
I'm going to tip Brisbane, but this is going to be whether I tip them to be a serious grand final contender.
Yeah.
Like whether I put them in the conversation of Port Adelaide and Collingwood. If they win at the MCG, I'm putting them in that conversation with them too. And they're going to win well. I will say that so I can cover my ass a little bit. But if they win well at the MCG, I'm putting them right there. It's only box on every ticked.
I agree. I think for me, I think they've got more to lose than more to gain from this. I think Melbourne are out of form, so you're right that this is a perfect time for Brisbane. But if they were to get whacked by Melbourne and underperforming Melbourne at the G, I don't think that you shake that kind of psychological disadvantage. They're already
They got whacked by Hawthorn a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that a big win against Melbourne will speak volumes. But I think they've got more to lose because of Melbourne's form than they do have more to win, in my opinion.
No, I disagree with you there.
So you're telling me them winning by 5 goals is like... I don't know how to word it, but I think that...
If they had the same inside 50s and only win by 5 goals, and when I'm watching the game, I don't feel they're a dominant side, I'll be... You got the win, but it's not a tick.
I just think Melbourne are playing some average footy at the moment, and no Oliver. I think this is the perfect time to take this kill. Like
100%. But Hawthorn a couple of weeks ago, you would have said that. And yet they lost to Hawthorn at the G. So, yeah, maybe a loss. does speak.
It just means more. I'm not saying that a win doesn't mean a lot because beating Melbourne at the G is always going to mean a lot. But I think losing by a lot is a more scary prospect. I don't know. I don't know what it, but for me, yeah, Brisbane.
If they
can't afford to
lose,
get
would
whacked.
you put them back in the conversation of Geelong, Dogs, like that group underneath? Because they're kind of not in the top 2, but they're not nowhere near the bottom, like Melbourne down pretty much. They're kind of in their own category at the moment.
For me, it'd be what the margin is. If they lose by 10, 15 points, no. If they got whacked, then it'd be hard not to. It'd be hard not to at least view them. Oh, well, you couldn't put them in the same conversation as Geelong, but you have to be like, I don't care what they do the rest of this season. I want to set the G. So
but like that, what I'm saying, Geelong is like there's like Adelaide, Essendon, Geelong, Dogs. I've all got in that same conversation. There's like 6 sides.
Yeah.
Would you, and Melbourne I put in there at the moment.
Okay.
Would you put them back in that one instead of being like their own tier and not being in the top 2, but not being in the rest?
If they lost comfortably, yes. Comfortably, though. If it's a close game, I wouldn't know. I still think they're better than those teams.
And out of 4, Melbourne.
Yeah. But at the G, which is a away game, it's hard because like we know the hoodoo, but it is an away game. You can't expect teams to win every away game.
No, but
you're playing a fellow top 4 side at their home ground.
They're more than likely to play at the G twice over the final series.
I agree. Yeah.
So if they don't win this against an out of form Melbourne side, how are they going to beat someone in form at the G?
I get
so
that.
Then they just go in the category of the rest of the bunch.
I do get that, but I think it'd be harsh to put them in the same category as Adelaide after 1 loss.
That bunch is big, so it's harsh, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you're not going to do much more than those sides.
I get that.
You may not do much more than those sides.
Strong words, fair enough. That's
going to be a big watch.
That's a really exciting one to watch on Friday night, for sure.
Best player in that game?
Petrarca needs to stand up.
Yeah.
He needs to stand up.
For Melbourne to do anything, Petrarca, please.
Pickett, Pickett as well.
Brisbane at $2.10, I would be...
I told you I'm getting on it.
Yeah, I'm getting on it. Yeah, Pickett.
Pickett's a good one. No Fritsch.
But also, like, since he signed the contract...
He hasn't been good this year. He hasn't been good this year at all.
He started off like a house on fire and has slowly deteriorated since. Collingwood, Fremantle at the G.
Pies,
pretty simple. They're going to be very good. Gold Coast, St Kilda, Heritage Bank Stadium. No one really cares. St Kilda.
Yeah. Gold Coast. No Max King. Gold Coast.
Oh, the brothers don't play each other.
Yeah,
they must be twins.
They must be the Mackay brothers again.
Sorry, they must be the same person, not
same
twins.
person.
Carlton, Port Adelaide.
This is a rip snorter.
Yep.
4:35. What a shit time slot though.
I know. Port Adelaide and Carlton's midfield gets shut up by the Port Adelaide midfield.
I think Carlton win. I think Port Adelaide are due an L. I think they've been grinding for the past few weeks. Carlton, I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm coming on here and saying I was wrong. But I've just got a funny feeling that Carlton and the Carlton fans will come out in force if they win. And to be honest, if they beat Port Adelaide, you probably...
Yeah, definitely.
So. But I think Port Adelaide, dual loss, are in there ripe.
Geelong, Essendon, GMH saying rip snort of a game.
This will be close.
This will be tough for a young Essendon side.
Dons don't lose big, so I want to be close.
The back to the Scott battles.
Yeah, true. The Scott brothers are back, baby.
Geelong, I wouldn't mind seeing Essendon pinch this one though. Like obviously because
I hope so too.
Stuff Geelong.
Yeah, true. Riley O'Donnell, stuff Geelong.
Adelaide, GWS at Adelaide Oval.
Crows have to win this, don't they?
Yep, absolutely they do.
5 goals for me.
Yeah, I think that's a minimum. And then Hawthorn, North Melbourne.
What? Literally got 5 people who watching this game.
They're both of them out of form, out of the bottom level.
What a dead Sunday.
Yeah. That's not the way Sunday should be. But
so North, Hawthorn, West Coast, Richmond. You've got Carlton, Port Adelaide on a Saturday arvo.
Overlapping.
I know Saturday's generally better than Sunday, but Sunday 3 o'clock, Carlton, Port Adelaide.
But there's only 2 games, so why overlap so many games?
Yeah.
You got 3 games overlapping.
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially North Melbourne Hawthorn. If you're ever going to overlap at all in AFL, you're overlapping these 2 stinkers games. Like, seriously.
Yep.
The only reason why they've done it is because I reckon 5 people would watch one of those games combined. 5.
Probably right.
So North Melbourne Hawthorn, the loser is AFL. So I think that no one wins.
Losers the fans.
So no one wins that.
West Coast, Richmond. Richmond.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. You don't mean they're finals.
Do you know my dad tipped the Eagles against the Gabba?
What was it? A joke?
No.
Was it like
a
punishment?
I also tipped Eagles, but that was because my tip didn't enter, so I didn't mean to. Idiot. It looked like, wait, why have I got that wrong? Oh, because I didn't enter my tip. I entered all the other ones in. But, yeah, Richmond win by a fair bit.
What was your score this week?
Good.
Supercoach.
2,548. 2,548. I was loading. You had a good week. So I moved up another 300 spots. So I'm now 3.6K.
Love it. 2,502 for me.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, it was back this week. I didn't stop. I took the bond. 123. I would have liked to go with some of the scores. I would have liked to go with someone else, but I took the bond.
You had to say that.
Yeah, but you have to take a risk. Redmond in pod.
How do you go?
I think he only had 86.
Because I heard on the radio, I was driving home from umpiring, and I heard Redmond getting tagged by Keys. Like, oh, my first thing I thought was shit, Fletcher.
And then
he kicked a goal in the first minute.
He had 80. That's about it.
And he kicked with a goal in the first minute. So
Paddy Cripps back. That was a good pick up.
Yeah, wow.
118.
You've done well. You got like 450k or something, 420k.
Yeah,
so that's a nice one.
Timed it. So side is done, apart from Ruckman. But I don't know what I'm going to do
It's
there.
Briggs, isn't it? So what did you do this week? Was he all right?
I think he had 100. I think he turned up.
So you can keep him for now.
I'm almost 107. So I'm always thinking.
How many trades you got left?
2.
Then you got to keep him.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking.
You can't be trading him now.
Yeah.
You keep him until finals at least.
Love it. Your side's complete, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm going to have 23 players. After this week, I'm bringing in...
Luxury.
As long as Dunkley's not out for more than 2 weeks, because I'll trade Dunkley. I was going to trade him this week until Clayton Oliver finally pissed that prick off after like 7 weeks. But if Dunkley comes out and... it's now 2 weeks again. Then I'll trade him, but I don't think it's going to be.
On his podcast, he said it was one, possibly 2.
Yeah, it was like tightness. It wasn't an injury. So for me, my plan will be to use 2 trades to get Sicily in. Sicily will be on field, and I'll have Hayden Young / Harry Sheasel. Sheasel's concerns. I'm glad he did in my D7. So that'll give me 23 primos and ready to attack these last 7 weeks.
Oh, freaking luxury. All right.
Yeah.
Lovely podcast. Tell a friend. Like, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe, yeah. Hello to Riley over in Brighton. He made 50 on the weekend. Riley made 57 off 46 balls. So shout out to Stokesy, yeah. Shout out to our own Stokesy. Well done.
All right. See ya. Love you.
See you later.